Coach, as we enter 2023, I guess first off, you always have your annual appearance at the Southern Scuffle in Chattanooga to start the new year. Can you just give us a little bit of recap of how you thought that went for your guys?
Well, I think that the tournament was actually a really deep tournament. I think some of the big name wrestlers might not have been in attendance this year as the years passed, but I mean, there was just really no easy matches. Like you couldn't get an easy win at that tournament. And that's the one thing I noticed this weekend is it was actually the depth and the level of wrestling at that tournament was really, really tough. We had 7 guys make it to the second day and 3 placers. I thought we had some young guys show some promise. We got tested in a couple of spots where, and we came away and hopefully learned some things through those matches, being in high-level matches. And, whether you win them or lose them, you need to be in high-level matches a lot to kind of figure out how to manage them. And some of our young guys just haven't been in enough high-level matches. And I think this weekend they were able to get some of those matches that will help give them experience in those moments, in those situations. So hopefully they're ready to respond. So, all in all, I thought it was an okay tournament. I wasn't really disappointed or wasn't really overly pleased either. I think it was just it was a good competition, and we got some some matches that we needed. We definitely got to do some things better. I think execution and the little details was something that I really noticed was something that was lacking in Chattanooga, especially winning those 1-point matches. And so we got to do a little bit better at that. We're going to really focus on that in the workout room this week. And just have our guys being consistent, consistent with the energy they bring in every day, consistent the way they're managing their weight, the way they're sleeping, the way they're eating, because this season is a long grind. And, now we're starting to get into the point where it actually starts mattering. So, I think it was good for our guys. I was proud of the effort we showed and the growth we've made. We just got to keep building.
As you look at how maybe the fall semester sets up your spring, I think you had some guys that maybe wrestled more than a lot of other guys across the country, and you went to Las Vegas this year. How did you kind of analyze how the schedule shaped out for your guys, both and how it looked in the fall and now what it sets up for in the spring?
Well, I mean, obviously when I was building the schedule last spring, knowing that we had some veterans back that had high aspirations and high goals of being a national champion, All-Americans, I wanted to try to give them the opportunity to test themselves against the best guys in the country early in the year. So we knew kind of, the level that we got to be at in March if we're going to have a chance to reach our goals. And that's kind of how I built the schedule. And I think this next semester, we start this next semester with 2 really tough dual meets. The next 2 dual meets at home and Varsity Gym are going to be really, really good wrestling matches. If you're a fan and you want to see some good wrestling, I would definitely recommend coming to the Binghamton and the Virginia Tech matches because they're going to be 2 really good teams and they're going to come and bring the fight. And we're going to have to be firing on all cylinders to beat either one of them.
Yeah, I think 9 of 10 starters wrestle in Chattanooga. John did not compete there. How would you kind of assess where he's at now and some of the things that kind of gone into how you've managed his schedule?
Well, you look at just a minute ago, I mentioned the grind of the season. And, John's a 6-year senior. And, I was looking a couple weeks ago at the match count, and John's almost already got 20 matches before January. And I think this kind of sets him up to where he'll get close to 40 matches at the end of the season. If we'd have wrestled him in the scuffle, that might have pushed him to 45, 46. I think it was just a decision where, trying to make sure that we're managing his body and being able to train and do the things he needs to do. He really needed a good training cycle last week. And so, I just felt like with him already having close to 20 matches in the first semester that, probably wasn't, the smartest idea to wrestle him at the scuffle, if we're trying to make him, be at his best in March.
I guess looking ahead, you mentioned the Binghamton and Virginia Tech duels. Binghamton's a talented roster, and they have a lot of NCAA entries each year. Just whatever you can assess of just the quality program that's coming into Boone this weekend.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of people, if you're not a wrestling fan, you might not know that Binghamton is a legitimate contender. They've got 4 or 5 returning NCAA qualifiers on this roster. They wrestled really well at the Southern Scuffle, the tournament we were just at. They're going to be a tough opponent. Their guys are good. They've got some highly ranked recruits. And this might be the best Binghamton team I've seen in a long, long time. So I can trust you this. Like if you're a fan and you don't know about Binghamton, they are a really, really quality Division I wrestling program. And, it should set up for a really exciting dual meet in Varsity Gym on Sunday. I've made sure our guys understand that we got to be ready to battle, because those guys are going to battle and they're good. They're well coached, they got some talent, and we got to be ready for a dogfight on Sunday.